We're gonna do this together, okay? So everybody can kind of follow along with the video up front. Go ahead and pose, kiddos. Let's get our hair where we want it. I'm not really all about that upshot, so I'm gonna stick a little something underneath the back so I get a better view of myself. I'm not above it.
See your head.
You just stick it there.
Yeah, don't force me to look at myself.
Thanks. I know, right? Alright, so once you've got your, once you've got your hair how you want it, go ahead and position it where you want it. How do you want to draw it? Whatever, more hair the better. It's just gonna go everywhere. Let's go. Yeah, because then it covers up parts of you. Am I right? Now, you guys, what I want you to do is I want you to look deep into your own eyes. I'm serious, Dream. Everyone. Wait. I want everyone to look at their face. And I want you to say, I love you. Do it. I love you. Yes. Now, what I want you to do next is I want you to tell yourself something that you love about yourself. I love your eyes. Do it. Hey, don't say mean things to yourself. Now, I want you, now this is important, you guys. It could be something that's in the image or it could be something that's outside of the image. And you can do this in your mind, that's fine. You don't have to do it out loud. But a part of having a good self-identity and loving yourself is knowing that even the parts of your body that you don't like, okay, think about a part of your body that you don't like the look of it or maybe how it works, okay? Think about that body part and think about what that body part does for you and those around you. So for me, I don't love my arms, okay? But when I think about my arms and I think about the fact that I don't love my arms, I think those arms hug with my nephew and niece. They serve my family members and make them food. You know, they help me sculpt things and create things for people that I love and to express myself. And so instead of focusing on how something looks, I'm focusing on how useful I am. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
So if you don't like your big ugly nose, what does that nose, how does that nose serve you? It helps you smell things.
It doesn't.
It helps you maybe even as far as smell, you find your life love with your nose, honestly, the pheromones. You can smell yummy, delicious food. It helps you breathe properly. Okay, your nose is amazing and it serves you. Okay, so a part of this lesson is knowing that, you know what, all of us are different, all of us look very different, but we're gonna try to begin when we look in the mirror to feel love for ourselves. If we can't love how we look, and I'm not gonna lie to you, not everyone's beautiful, but that's okay. And even beautiful people who everyone would objectively say that person's beautiful, those people are usually the most insecure for some reason. Okay? They feel the worst about themselves. So instead of thinking about how you look, I would love for you guys, when you look in the mirror, to remember how useful you are and how you use these features and these parts of our bodies to love other people. Okay? We're ready? It takes some courage. All right. So let's go ahead and just everybody check out up here. This image is going to be, you could draw a little bit smaller even. Our final picture is going to be a square. Do you guys remember the big squares we've been using? So they're going to be basically this size. Okay, and we're going to trace, oh, you guys can't see that. We're going to trace this image of you for the focal point of the final composition. Does that make sense? So you guys haven't planned it. You don't really know what the project is. Just know that this head that we draw today is going to end up in the final square project. Okay? And your face is most likely going to be the focal point. Okay, so we want to draw pretty much, you know, at least the major size of this half piece of paper. Okay? So what's the first thing we do when we're drawing a head? The circle. And how do we draw a perfect circle? You don't. You draw an imperfect circle. Go ahead. Make sure you leave room for your hair. I'm going to sketch out an imperfect circle. Okay? Once I get an imperfect circle, I'm going to draw a little bit darker so you guys can see it, but I do not recommend you guys draw dark. Once you get an imperfect circle, try to fix the things that look off about it. If it looks like you have a big tumor growing out the side, shave it off. Okay, if it looks like you have a dent in your chin or in the bottom area, fill it in. Okay, and you can even right now go ahead and erase this. We're not using colored pencil today. We are now able to erase. Hallelujah. Okay, now, is your head a perfect circle? Your face is more of an oval. How do we get the right proportions? What? Add the jaw. So how do I know how long to make the jaw? What if I put my jaw all the way down here? Don't. Yeah, I'd end up with a horse head, right? Chris?
I just accidentally bent my paper with the eraser.
You don't, your eraser's not working?
No, I bent my paper.
Oh, just keep going. This isn't important. We're gonna make all the mistakes on this paper. You're fine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna find the half of this circle. So find about, guesstimate the half. Go bump, bump, bump. Try to find the middle. Okay. Then everybody's eyes up here. Once I have the middle, I'm going to take the measurement of the bottom and I am going to mark it. That is how long my jaw is gonna be. And for now, you can actually observe your head and do it, you know, a little bit accurate, but for now I'm not worried about accuracy. We're gonna return to the jaw later. Okay? Now, because we have a pencil, I'm gonna go ahead and erase all of the inside marks so that I just have my face shape, or my head and face. I'm gonna get rid of the bottom of my circle and the middle dot that I just made. I'm gonna clear the way for all this face that I'm about to draw. That's so much better, oh my goodness. Somebody should remake these mirrors from an ergonomic or a more beautiful viewpoint. They're like all an upshot of our chins. Like, I can't take this. I know. I just raised mine. Sorry. I'm old. Can't take it. Okay. At this point, does everybody have their face with all of the lines that are unnecessary erased?
No.
Alright, I'll give you another second or two. As soon as I can, I'm moving on. Ah, there we go. Success, okay. Okay, are we ready? Now, before we move on, we need our guidelines. Remember, we want our face to look symmetrical. So we're gonna gently draw a line down the middles. So if you're not sure, you can use the audio, bump, bump, bump. This is really, really important, okay? The middles are so important because what is the most important feature that is right on the middle horizontal line?
Eyes.
The eyes. Now, are your eyes in the middle of your face? No, they're not. What are they in the middle of? The head, okay? So this is the part where a lot of you, how many of y'all did trust me and y'all put your eyes up near the top when we were practicing?
It's not that I didn't trust you.
It's just that you got it wrong. It's okay. This one's crucial. I think we now know how crucial it is to get those eyes in the middle. Okay? So, everybody got the middles? And I'm going to just double check mine. I'm going to mark it. And that's not quite in the middle, so I'm going to bring that down just a wee little bit. If your eyes are too high, that's how you end up with a horse nose. Okay, I'm feeling good about mine. You guys good? All right. Okay, so now we're gonna do some math, kids. We're gonna do some math. In order for us to know where the eyes go, we have to figure out where the nose goes. Where's the bottom of the nose? It's half of the half. Everybody look on your paper right here. The bottom of your nose is half of the half. So right here's the middle. Half of the half should be the bottom of your nose. So we're going to have this one more time. Bump, bump, bump. I'm going to bring mine up just a wee bit. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Okay, now this distance, everybody, can I get everybody's eyes up here? Because this is the geometry that a lot of kids miss. Okay, everybody's eyes up front, kiddos, eyeballs, right up here. We're going to measure this distance, and I'm going to just keep my fingers in place, and I'm going to set them on there, and I'm going to mark that on both sides of the middle. Okay? Made that one a little wide. Okay? The distance from the middle to the bottom of your nose is the same distance to the outside of your eyes. Now, right now, you should double check also the negative space. The space on the outside of the eyes should be the same on both sides. I'm drawing my marks really dark so that you guys can see them. But again, you should not. Now, from these two lines, how many eyes are going to fit inside of these two lines? 3. Everybody look at your face right now. I want you to measure with your fingers. I want you to measure your eye and notice that there is one eye between your eye. Now, some of your eyes might be closer. Some of them might be a little bit wider. So this is a good time for you right now to kind of look and see how your eyes measure up to the perspective. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get 1.5 on each side. I'm just going to double check that, see if that checks out. I'm going to widen mine just a wee little bit because I made them a little bit too big. So I'm just double checking. And something that you can do, I don't know if you guys have a scrap piece of paper, but don't look, kids, don't look. This is cheating mess. Something you can do is you can take a piece of paper and you can even measure it on that paper. And if it becomes difficult for you to tell, you can double check. That looks pretty good. So I'm doing good. Did you guys see that? It's like, bam, my math checks out. Math is amazing when you know how to use it. All right, so what goes inside of these areas? Some eyes. Is it the eyes that goes in there? I don't know if you can tell by the tone of my voice, but it's not your eyes that go inside of there. It's your eye slits. Okay? It is just the area, if you guys look right here. It is just the area that touches the sclera. That's it. It should not be very big whatsoever. Okay? We're just doing the area for the slit. We're not including the eyelid or the shadows beneath or the eyebrow. It is just the slit. So notice your eyes. You guys, I got some round eyes. Mine are more like chubby lemons than like squinty slugs. Okay? So it depends on your eyes. Some of your guys' eyes angle down on the outside. You tend to maybe look a little sleepy. Okay? Or some of your guys' might be different shapes. So that's going to be a really important thing for you to check out. I will say that I do think that rounder eyes are a little bit more difficult because they tend to end up looking crazy. So we're going to go ahead and get the tear duct on the middle. And notice where your tear duct is. On my eye, the majority of my eye slit is above the tear duct. My tear duct is not in the middle of my eye slit. So it's definitely much rounder on the top than it is on the bottom. On the bottom, it's very shallow almost. The more you look at yourself, the easier this is going to be. Okay. Once you get one eye, the hard part is getting two even eyes. So we're going to go ahead and draw a nice light guideline over. Try to make sure that those lines stay parallel. They're not rising or lowering at all. Okay. Then we're going to try to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. I like to get a nice round top, a shallow rainbow, if you will. Get that little ball for the tear duct. And the second one in some ways is easier because you have it boxed in to fit the first one. Now at this point, because we are using erasers, I'm going to allow you to go ahead and erase your guidelines that are unnecessary. So I'm going to erase the top and bottom guideline. I'm going to also erase the guideline that goes through the middle of the eye. I don't need that one anymore. I don't need that horizontal line. That's the last I need of it. I still need my vertical middle line, so I'm going to leave that one. I want to make sure my nose doesn't look like it's melting off my face. But for now, this is the last time I need this horizontal line. It's got to go. What are the three parts of your eyeball? What's the white part called?
Sclera.
Sclera. What's the colored part called?
Iris.
Iris. And the black part?
Pupil.
Pupil. So do we have to draw the sclera? No, because it's just in there. Okay, we can't see the outside of it. So go ahead and look directly at your eyes and ask yourself, can you see the bottom of your iris? My iris almost touches my bottom lid. Like I said, I got some like cartoon eyes going on over here.
No, I can't get my measurement right.
That's okay, just give it a try because that's the first step is to do it badly and then notice what you've done and then try to fix it a little bit.
Yeah, I've done that 3 times now.
Bring here. I would notice your sclera, that negative space, and make sure that the negative space around your iris looks similar. Come here. Right. So this right here is the same right here. Put it there. Oh, right there. Okay. Well, I think this needs to be a little bit longer, so let's bring these out just a little bit. That's a little bit better. Your middle's a little bit off. Okay, so now we have about the same distance there and the same distance there. Okay. Now we're gonna make this into 3. Okay, so right there is gonna be your eyelid. But look at it. I'm just gonna get a guesstimate right now. Okay?
I don't think my eyes are that small.
They're not, but we still have to do the eye lid and the eyebrow, so they're gonna look bigger. Does that make sense?
In reality, my eyes that small.
Yeah, and the other thing is your eyes look bigger when you have hair in front, but when you take the hair away, see how they look smaller? No? They do. Go over there. Alright, how you guys doing? So at this point we're doing the iris, but we're also doing the pupil and the reflection. Do you guys see the reflection in your eye? Try to make sure that both of your irises are the same size, or else it's gonna look a little crazy. Remember, the pupil should be perfectly in the middle of your iris. Now my pupil, I don't think any of our pupils are touching our eyelid at all.
Yep.
Anybody got a pupil touching their eyelid? No.
Oh wait, do you mean like
The black part of your eye, does it touch your eyelid when you look straight at it?
it goes? My pupil doesn't even like. How do you describe that? My eyelid covers half.
You
my
have
pupil.
you have hooded eyes. I've noticed that about you. It's a sweet little thing about you. So some of you guys do. So that's a good thing to notice. Now I'm not going to shade anything in. Even though that pupil, I know that it's black, I'm not going to shade it in. I'm going to go ahead and I can see with these neon lights up above, I can see 2 reflections. Are you guys getting 2 reflections? I'm just going to put down the shapes for those. How many of y'all have eyeballs done? All right, so now we're going to move on to the eyelid. That's the line that's above your eye. Now, everybody just look at yours. Notice how your eyelid is probably going to look not attached to your eye slit. The line is a little bit above, okay? Mine is pretty round. But then it gets closer again for me on the outside. It doesn't touch, but it gets close. Try to keep these as clean as possible as well. So if yours is a little bit messy, you can erase a bit.
Can't get the right shape.
Honestly, you guys, just try to get something for now. Even mine, it doesn't look like me, okay? But once you get all the features in, then you can really assess, look at yourself and look at what you've drawn and be like, oh, my nose is longer, or my nose is shorter, or my face is wider or thinner. You can really do that a little bit later. But right now, everything is going to look a little bit wonky because you don't have faces with only eyes on it, okay? So without any of that, like, context, it looks weird. Look how weird this looks. It looks weird.
Oh my god, I can't do this.
Just do one little thing at a time.
I've been trying
Yeah.
the same eye for almost 9 times.
Do you want to come sit by me and draw with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, come sit by me.
Trying the same freaking eye
You're
5
fine.
times.
All right, so what's after the eyeball?
It's just
Not the nose. You're gonna sit right here.
getting a weird shape like
No,
that.
that's good. That's good. Just keep going. That's good. You're being hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself.
It doesn't look anything like
Okay, we need to do those eyebrows. You guys have skinny, wee bitty eyebrows.
Should I draw the birthmark on mine?
Yeah.
I have a
you see
birth.
it?
I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed, but you.
I can see it. I never noticed it until you literally just said it.
Yeah, I have a birthmark on my eye.
Okay, so we're gonna first start with the line. How high up is your eyebrows? One eye slit. So bump, bump, bump. Okay. Now I think mine might be a little bit higher. So you look at your facial proportions as well. I have a very high upper eyelid. I also have an incredibly high forehead. When I wear a ponytail, sometimes I look like a bald man. It's just true, okay? It's okay, because you know what my forehead has inside of it? My frontal lobe, which I hear is important.
I think my eyebrows
Does
are a
all
bit
kinds of great
lower
things for
than
me,
them.
okay?
My eyebrows are a bit lower.
That's okay, then yours is a little bit smaller.
It's like
Yes.
right here.
All of my features are very round. Your features might be more straight or more angular, okay? So once I get that height, I'm just gonna I look at my tear duct and notice that my eyebrows are a little bit on the inside of my tear ducts. This is what happens when you get old, okay? Then I'm noticing, I'm gonna move my hair, I'm gonna notice where the tip of my eyebrow is, and it's way wider actually than my eye. So my eyebrow is going like in this shape, right here. Very round, very thin. Okay? Once I get it on that side, I'm gonna go ahead and get it on the other side. The inside is definitely lower than the line that I drew, and then it arches upward for me. Another thing to notice about you while you're observing is, are your eyebrows symmetrical? Is one a little bit different than the other? That's a huge part of your personality. Some people have like one of those eyebrows that always looks like it's about to start dancing. Do you know what I mean? Like their muscles are, for whatever reason, they use that muscle on that side more, and so their eyebrows don't really rest the same. Are you guys noticing that the left side's a little bit harder if you're right-handed? Okay. Once I get that line, I'm going to go ahead and draw out the shape. I'm going to make that eyebrow into a shape. Mine definitely have a corner on the inside. There's kind of an edge. And I'm noticing right here that my distance between my eyebrows is not symmetrical, so I need to fix that. Everybody look up here really quickly. Notice that my distance from the middle to the right one is smaller than my distance to the left one. I think my left one is more accurate. So I'm gonna fix my right one in just a second. You can see a little bit of the sclera in your tear duct. Do you guys see that? Where it goes from white to like brain matter? I'm gonna get that little line in there. We didn't really talk about that last time. Okay, so let's do a symmetry check. Look at your face and figure out what is and is not symmetrical. And then compare it to what you've drawn.
I think I did good. I'm okay, I think.
How many of you guys have finished eyes right now?
Nope.
We're looking good? Do any of your drawings look like you?
No.
That's okay. We'll get there at the end. We'll get there at the end. Okay, now you guys, it's also a good idea. Well, let's just go do the nose first before we go too deep.
I'm gonna have to redo the second eye.
Okay, let's go to the nose, kiddos. How do we do that nose? First, let's observe our nose. What's the lowest part of your nose?
The nostril.
No, not the nostril. It's the septum in the middle. That's actually a little bit lower than your nostrils. Okay? So I'm going to erase my guideline so it's not in my way. And my nose is a little bit more pointy than we drew last time. So really look at the shape of your nostrils and how it works. Oh wait, let's make how wide is our nose? Let's do that first. My bad. Mine is a little bit wider than my tear ducts. I got my dad's nose, you guys. All the better to smell you with.
My nose is like
Does everybody
the
see a
skinniest
picture of Biden in their head? See those memes of him smelling people?
Creepy.
Oh no, this is going on the internet. Don't cancel me. Okay. Alright, I got my outsides. Make sure those lines are straight.
Yeah, my nose is pointy, but not that pointy. I like that very droop nose. But it also gets like skinnier.
Okay, when you're doing the sides of your nose, I do not recommend that you draw the line all the way from the eyebrow all the way around and then back up to the eyebrow. It looks crazy. So everybody look right here for a second. I'm just going to do like guesstimating marks so that it's not the whole thing. Now a lot of this, you guys, it's hard to tell without shading where stuff is, okay? I'm going to go ahead and erase my middle mark through my nose so that I can get a good look at it. And I can't help myself. I'm going to have to add in a little bit of lines for the nostrils. Boys, I hear you giggling. You need some help over there?
He does.
How'd you guys do with your noses? That looks like a nose. Have you got a septum and 2 nostrils? It's happening. It's happening.
I realize I kind of have like a nose that kind of looks like one of those clubhouses.
Yeah.
Whatever the club that.
Okay, now you guys, here's the deal. It is way easier to draw a mouth with like resting face or with no emotion. But if it's gonna feel like you, a little bit of emotion will be good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna, believe you me, I'm not drawing my teeth. Okay? I do not recommend that for a beginner for this class. So let's just keep like a nice pleasant smile with your lips closed. What?
Don't talk.
The nose mark? Yeah, that's the bottom of the nose. Yeah. So from the bottom of the nose, bump, 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 halfway is the bottom of the lips. You guys, I don't know why I keep drawing my nose too long. Bump, bump, bump. Yeah, I did. I'm just gonna, you know what? Don't tell. I'll make a little bit more room for my mouth. I know. Yeah, do what you gotta do. Oh, yes, there is. How wide is your mouth? Go ahead and compare it when you're grinning. Mine are on the inside of my pupils. Alright, so once I've got the bottom of my mouth here, I like to mark off where my, what's your upper lip called? What's that part? The Cupid's bow, but there's like a real word for it.
What is it?
Those 2 little lines. Mandible,
Dimples?
is that it?
No, it's dimples.
Dimples are over here.
Oh, really?
Whatever. I like to kind of mark how low my lips are. Now notice the points on your top 2 lips. What do they line up with your nose? Yeah, like right in the middle of my nostrils. These boys, I cannot wait to see what you got going on.
I know. Trust me, I can kind of see it.
You can't even make out.
The more I smile, the more flat my top lip is. It looks flatter the more I smile. Have you guys noticed that? When I'm resting my face, it goes downward with high tips, but it stretches my lips outward when I grin a little bit.
No, that's kind of what my smile looks like. It's kind of weird, but it's...
Am I looking like?
Looking alike.
Mine's okay.
You guys, you know what's weird about me? So I had a coma once, and so now my smile is off center. I had a coma. Yeah, this side's higher than this side. This side droops. What was that? I almost died in Africa once. I'll tell you that story another time.
Tell us in art club.
I'll tell you today if we can get through this. How much time we got? We're good. Let's keep moving. There you go. I think your neck is a little bit too wide. Skinning it down a little bit.
This is how I measured it.
Okay, so anyways,
I think it
notice
looks
the
awesome.
weird funky things about your face. What you got going on over there?
I made the lip a little too big.
Yep. Or maybe just make more space. You guys, the jaw at the beginning is just a place filler. So you might need to leave more room for your jaw if your mouth is getting too close. Yeah. Yeah, and while you're out there,
I have really
instead
bad
of stressing,
It's
Go
called
take a breath,
art.
that looks amazing.
It's called art blindness.
No, I have body dysmorphia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
This is why I never.
What I got going on is called art blindness because I've been staring at the same fucking thing for so
Hey,
long.
hey, don't cuss. Or the same
Listen.
stinking thing. Okay, how'd you guys do with your mouths? We good?
I'm struggling with it.
Yeah?
Like fucking.
Hey, don't cuss. Hey, look at me. No cussing, okay?
I'm trying. Okay.
I'm recording also.
I was raised in a family of cussers. I'm trying my best.
Thank you for altering. Okay, so right now, you guys, is the time to really look at yourself while you've got the face, most parts of it already ready to go. Ask yourself, does it look like you or does something look a little bit off?
No.
Okay?
Yeah, that looks.
Now, what we're going to do next is the chin. Okay? Notice that there's a little dimple like underneath your mouth. Okay? But then your chin should be lower than that. Okay? I have a pretty round chin like right here. It's more of like an oval shape. So you can also like draw that as a shape that can help you get the right jaw. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Right? Yeah. I cannot wait to see all of your sweet little faces.
Find your keepers. Fair.
I don't have one.
Guessing game
And
He doesn't have a so
You don't have a chin? This little guy?
Don't cuss.
That's okay, then just don't draw it. You might have a little bit of shadow underneath your lips. You have a large bottom lip.
Dude, I'm trying. When you're raised in a family who curses like a sailor,
Okay,
you're
now you
trying
guys,
your best.
while we're here, have a seat for them. While we're here, we're gonna go ahead and get the cheeks, the jawline. Okay, so
Oh, that's right. I do have to draw
look at the
ears.
angle
My
of
head
your
hurts.
chin, of your jaw. Move your hair out of the way. Notice what's the largest part or the widest part of your face. It's most likely where your cheekbones are. Okay? My cheekbones, the widest part of my face is right above my nostrils. Okay? So I'm noticing that while I do have a round face, it is wider up near my cheekbones. Yeah, we're gonna go on to the hair next. You can also be erasing some of this, the guide marks that you're making as you go. That can really help it start to look like you as well.
Basically, I have this kind of hole in my face.
No. Got a cute few holes in your face.
No, you see, look.
These ones? Oh,
No.
I see.
Because of my surgery, they basically created a dent in my face.
Gotcha. Now, you guys, a huge part of like my face is I've got like, you know, like Santa Claus has like 2 circles for cheeks. I have very pronounced cheeks. So I'm gonna make sure that I draw that. If you have like a line here for your what do you call it? What is that bone? I just said cheekbone. Mine are more like circles.
Very pronounced eye bags.
Hey, don't put people down. Build people up.
Beautiful.
Don't lie to them either. I haven't seen it. I'm just saying. Don't just tell people things are beautiful. Tell them what you like about it.
I love you.
Oh my goodness.
It's a love.
At least these boys are moderately quiet.
Tony's picture is like, good luck with fixing. I mean, go ahead. The eyes,
Don't forget the lines underneath your nose, the Cupid's bow.
What's that, a mustache?
Okay, now you guys, this is really gonna help. It's the hairline. So get your hair back where you want it.
I'm not doing a
Yeah, unless you're bald.
highlight.
Now look at how high your forehead is. Like I told you guys, I have a pretty high forehead. But also remember that your hair comes off of your skull, okay? What we've drawn is your skull. Oh, I forgot my neck too. Remember the neck is with the outside of the eyes. So I can't really see it behind my hair, but I know it's there. But those of you that have short hair, definitely make sure that your neck isn't too wide or too skinny. Now remember, we're not drawing every single hair blade of hair. That's not what we're doing here. We're just drawing the major shapes that we see our hair take.
I'm sorry.
Try to draw what you see and don't just make stuff up. That really does help. Now, it's good not to just have a floating head, so if you can see part of your outfit, you can even draw that part of your outfit. I'm going to go ahead and draw my denim jacket.
Hey, Smith.
Yeah.
Do you remember Savannah? Savannah Day?
Yes.
Doesn't this look like her?
Maybe. That's funny when you draw yourself and it looks like somebody you know.
Doesn't this look like Savannah? Delete from all the
Alright, so I got my hairline, which looks really kind of crazy without the top of my hair. So I'm going to go ahead and erase really quickly my skull. Because my hair is not see-through, at least not at the moment. I mean, there's still time for me to lose my hair.
Hey.
Boys? This looks like me. How exciting. It's always awful when you do a demo and everyone's like, look at what?
Gotta say the lips look a little unsettling.
My lips do kind of look a little unsettling though. I'll tell you guys a story.
Very upsetting.
Yeah, that looks about right.
Good job, but your neck is not that wide
I
or
promise.
that low. Somewhere right. That looks good. You're doing good. So just bring those shoulders up and look at your shoulders. Look how they come out at more of an angle. You made them look really sloped down, so bring them out more of a corner. All right. This is looking good. All right, finish out the top of the head. You got this. Well, I think the next step is really just critiquing whether how much it looks like us. What is the unique part of us? That would be good. That would be good. For me, it's the cheeks being really round like this that makes it look like me. Like that would be a good one to add. Yeah.
I don't know how to do scars though.
Yeah, just do it as a shape because we're not really. We're just doing line on these.
I'm like, girl, you think you're on
Hey,
like,
buddy.
I have to do all this. For God's sake, there are so many scars on my neck that I have to draw.
Yep. All right. Hey, language, boys. Now, what is the last thing we got to do on this head? Eyelashes. Okay, if you're still on hair, do hair. But now ask yourself, especially if you're wearing makeup, how much makeup are you wearing? If you're wearing eyeliner, I'm just gonna go ahead and press harder on my top eyelid or my top eye slit because I'm wearing eyeliner and I'm wearing mascara.
What if your
Okay.
eyelashes are barely visible?
And then just do the little outside ones. Look up there. The little outside ones can be good ones to do. You might have to move your mirror a little bit closer so you can see the eyelashes and where they go. Yep.
I want to show you something I drew.
Okay. Now's not the right time for that. But I want to see it later, okay?
Hi, Nathan.
Want to jump pool?
Ooh, cool.
Remember that the direction of the eyelashes changes. Hi, dear. Remember that the bottom eyelashes are way less pronounced. Now I kind of regret not lightening my lines, but that's okay. It is what it is. We're gonna trace this over too, so if you've drawn something too dark or too overstated, when we trace it onto our final, we can fix some of those things. Try not to make your eyelashes look crazy long. Like really observe how high your eyelashes go on your eyelid. Mine like barely pass my eyelid, so I don't want them to be like crazy long. So I'm gonna bring these ones down a little bit. They went a little bit too far up. Remember, sometimes those eyelashes tend to clump together and make little triangles. Now, just because I can't help myself, I'm going to go ahead and shade in only my pupil. Only shade in your pupil. Please don't color in anything else. Okay, if you have glasses, I'm going to do a demo right now on how to do glasses. This is crucial. The thing about glasses, let's say that, just bear with me. Let's say that this is your nose and this is your eye. This is your ear. Okay, everybody with me? When you do glasses, A lot of kids, what they'll do is they'll draw the glasses around the eye perfectly, and then they'll draw the thing going back because they think about how it is. That is not the truth. Look at your glasses. Your glasses are the width of your head. So when you draw those frames, they're actually quite wide. Okay? And you might be able to see a little bit of the sides going back, but not much at all. Okay? So you always want to draw, those glasses a little bit wider than you imagine them to be. People who draw glasses around eyes that look barely bigger than the eyes, those people are using their imagination to draw. They are not using their eyes. Okay? The reason glasses work is because they have to be the width of your head. Okay? Good.
Really?
So good.
I'm like, I drew the scars to the best of my ability, but the scars are hard.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Okay, now at the end here, I want you can even help each other. If you have the self-confidence for it, you could get help from a friend, and you could ask a friend, what is the most me part of my face? Okay? So I'm going to use a few of your examples. Okay? So we talked about how Autumn's eyes are a little bit lidded. She's got sleepy upper eyes. That's something that's very important for Autumn's vibe, how that's going to make her look. I would say that Vinny and also Harper have very distinct eyebrows. I'm serious, the shape of your eyebrows are going to be really important to your face. Okay? I'm looking at Michaela, and the way that your mouth slopes downward and your cheekbones are wider, much wider than the tip, that's a very important feature for your face. Okay? So, and your cheekbones down here, Chris, they're really pronounced right there. That's going to be really important for your head. Okay? Your hair is everything. Okay? You got to get that hair right. Okay?
I think mine's
So,
my
yeah. So, you look at those, it's kind of like being a caricature. Have you ever seen caricatures online or in person draw people? They take the most recognizable feature and they dramatize it. We're not trying to dramatize it, but it's important to know what are these features that make us look like us. It could be a birthmark or a beauty mark. It could be a scar that you have. It could be the shape of your eyebrows. The eyebrows and the eyelids are a big part of it. Okay? But also the shape of the overall face is also pretty important.
I have very pronounced lip lines. The lips and the lines on my lips are very, very forward and very easy to see.
Well, gravity won't allow it, but yeah. You can always do a man bun.
I also have very pronounced eye bags, which I already drew. But the most noticeable thing is, I don't know if you could tell, but I have very pronounced lip lines in my lips.
I see that. Yeah, I see that. That's good. It's a good thing to notice.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's one other thing I want to show you. This is not in the demo from last class. It's actually in the shading part. But right now, my eyes look crazy without it. Okay? So what I want everyone to do is I want everyone to look up here, and I'm going to show you just a little bit how eyes work. You can look at this drawing that I'm about to do, but you can also look, like every once in a while, look at your eyes. Let's just start with that. Look at your eyes. What are the darkest parts of your iris? The rim, the outside rim. If you have very dark eyes, you might not be able to see the rim. Does anybody have such dark eyes that you can't tell a difference between the rim? Okay. But I want you to really get in close with that mirror. Can you see flecks of different colors of brown inside of those eyes? Whatever color it might be. Okay? You usually, if you get close enough, you can see. Now look at those flecks really close. And notice, let's see. Notice how they are like almost triangles. Okay? So when I do this, I'm going to get the dark outside. And we're only doing line, kids. I don't want you to shade anything. I haven't taught y'all anything about shading. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the inside and kind of do flecks. It's like a radius going straight out of that pupil. And those are just the dark flecks in my eyes. Now, I have lighter eyes. Who's got lighter eyes in here? Mine, sometimes they're blue, sometimes mine are green. So you can really see the shapes of all those little triangles in there. So some are dark, some are medium, and some are super light. So they also, though, look at those flecks. They're also on the outside by the rim going inward. So I kind of do some of those little rays going in. Now you have to keep going or else your eyes are just going to look like a candy striped, you know, what do you call those? Peppermint?
Candy cane?
Like a candy cane. Like it's going to look, so I am kind of shading, but I'm more like doing different flares out from the middle. Sometimes darker. Yeah.
I have a stripe of brown in my right eye.
Yeah, that's going to be a really important signature detail.
I forgot.
So you want to make sure that you have enough contrast to be able to show that that's darker.
I just added this in, but I don't know if you noticed, my eyes change colors sometimes. And I
Yeah,
have a really
same
dark
with me.
green
And it
ring
really-
around my eye.
It really is dependent on my mood, too. If you go too dark, you can kind of tap it up. Look how, you guys, look at my eraser right here. See how dark it is? If you take denim and you just erase the denim, it erases your eraser.
Oh, I just wipe it off. Like with my finger.
Just use your finger.
Like that? That's kind of what my eyes look like. My eyes are just full of stripes, except I'm gonna have to erase those eventually and color those in a real thing, because my eye stripes are gold.
Yeah.
I would just shade ever so lightly and just do darker lines.
Exactly. Where you see those little,
And like the thing is, in my left eye, I
Flares.
have circles, like little brown
yeah,
circles.
yeah, I see that too.
I have like speckles and then a stripe, which is weird.
So like this? Is that good?
I have like straight up yellow on the inside of my eyes.
Like,
So
is it
it's-
like a circle?
It like around the pupil, I'm more yellow.
The radius
So I got
around
that
my
a little
eye
dark.
is yellow. The radius around my eye is yellow, so I'm gonna have to change that in the real thing. With gold yellow eyes.
Make sure that these are straight. You guys, there's always a kid that puts the eye in the middle and then they like make all of the rays come out like bent like this and it looks like they've got a spider trapped in their eye. It looks like this. The correctness is to go out from the middle. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
So like that instead.
Yes. Good job. Good job. Good for you.
I never realized how weird my nose looked. It's just the thinnest freaking thing, and then it's just. The reason I put those two lines under my eyes is because I have very pronounced eye bags.
Yeah. Now, kids, if you have a double chin, let me show you something. I know no one wants to draw a double chin, but here it is, okay? Everyone can make a double chin if they wanted to, so just calm down. The chin is in front, but the jaw is attached to the second chin. Does that make sense? So the chin is in front of it, and the double chin is actually attached to the face. Alright, so at this point, all we're doing is kind of tweaking and asking ourselves, can I do something to make this look more like me? Don't shade anything because you guys are going to be tracing these, so we want the line drawings.
lot of freckles on my nose, but other than that, I'm done.
Awesome. I cannot believe we finished this in one day. I'm very impressed.
Story time now?
Okay. So you guys, I moved to Africa to Tanzania. I always wanted to move there, and I got a job there on the internet without having ever been there or talking to anyone that ever went there. My parents were furious, but I went anyway. And you guys, when I was there, the parasites are so bad. Everything you eat is washed with their water, and the water is awful. And so I was sick the whole time. It was 8 months of diarrhea, like no joke. Like there were days I couldn't, in fact, there's another funny story where my skirt literally fell off while I was teaching because I lost so much weight when I was there. But anyways, I was having major medical issues. Before I went, I asked them 2 questions before I made the decision to go. I said, can I get my insulin there? And the lady, because I'm diabetic, the lady went and checked and made sure I could get the right kind of insulin there. So I was like, okay. And I was like, the second thing is, do you have Western toilets in the apartments? They're like, yes, we do. And I was like, I will take the job. So I go over. And the first time I needed to fill my prescription with my insulin, they didn't have it. And I was like, well, when are you getting it? They're like, maybe in a few months.
What?
So I'm on some other kind of insulin. I go and find a doctor as soon as I can. And it's this Canadian guy who just isn't even a doctor. But he's like, you don't even have to have a prescription to get anything over there. And all the medicine is so cheap. So I'm using some British stuff I've never used, and my blood sugar is crazy, you guys. It is crazy, and it's so hot there. I didn't know it at the time, but when your body gets hot, all of your cells open up, and so if you have drugs in your system, they're more intense. So my blood sugar would constantly go low. One day I was out with the kids. We were painting at one of the orphanages, and it was right during stinking prayer. It was 50-50 Christian Muslim there, so every day was call to prayer. But during the call to prayer, everything in the city shuts down. Everything shuts down. So there were a few times where I couldn't get sugar. I couldn't buy sugar while the call to prayer is going on. So it was really dangerous. I remember one day I woke up and I was back in my apartment. Students were there and another lady was there. I could not even remember me getting there. Anyway, it's a Saturday. I have a maid, Sada. That's how everyone there has a maid. That's because you guys, I thought I was going to be this person that went there and did my own laundry by hand. And I was like, forget it, I'll take a maid. So I got myself a maid, sweet Sada. She doesn't speak a lick of English, and she comes every Monday through Friday. But this is a Saturday, y'all. And so no one's expecting me till Monday at work. I live alone, except I'm in a complex with all of my coworkers that also live in this complex, which is a weird living situation, you know what I'm saying? Neighbors with all of your coworkers. And I wake up and I cannot feel the right side of my entire body. This has never happened to me before, ever. Usually my body parts will go tingly or numb. I'll have heat flashes, my tongue might go numb, and I sometimes when I'm teaching, if I'm slurring my words, you can tell my blood sugar's low. But if I'm conscious, I can catch it. It'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm asleep, I don't catch it. And so this time I went so low, I could not feel or move any part of my body. So I wake up and I could tell my blood sugar was low, and I go to leave the bed and I cannot even sit up. You don't think about how important your stomach muscles are, but everything hinges over your stinking core. You cannot move your body without your stomach muscles, you guys. Those muscles are important. So I'm crying and screaming, literally. I'm crying and dying and screaming. And I'm I'm that woman that's screaming for someone to help her and save her. And this bed, I can't move. I'm inside of this bed with this mosquito net. And all of the buildings are made of concrete. No one can hear me. And all the crows are cawing so loud. But you guys, you can't even scream when you can't use your stomach muscles. And I have nightmares about it still sometimes, where I'm trying to scream for help and it just comes out like a wheeze. Nobody can hear it. It's terrifying. Anyway, I had this moment where I talked to myself and I was like, what would my mother do? My mother? You guys, she says, never wait for anyone to save you. She's like, you gotta save yourself. This is the kind of empowering, awesome lady she is, right? She's like a stay-at-home mom. That kind of awesome, empowering mother. So I told myself, I cannot just die here. I gotta figure something out. So I told myself, okay, I'm weeping I've like been trying to scream, and I count to 3, and on the count of 3, I used every ounce of my energy, which you don't have a lot when your blood sugar is low to begin with, and I hurled myself out of the bed. But it was really like a really sad looking flop over. So I fall out of the bed, and the only thing that's next to the bed is this little end table, but it's like hand built end table of wood, and the corner is stinking sharp, and I have a scar right here. I land right on my lip and hit my head. I get tumbled inside of all of the mosquito nets, and there's blood everywhere. My lip like busts open, and I'm laying on the ground. I can't even sit up, you guys. I can't even crawl. I literally can't even, but I'm at least out of the bed now. I'm out of the bed, and I'm in a puddle of blood everywhere. I'm still crying, and I'm still wheezing for help from like my neighbors, and I'm like, that's as far as I go. I'm 2 rooms away from the kitchen. The kitchen's there for whatever reason. They were taller than this. I was like, how in the world am I even gonna reach some soda when I get to the kitchen? The power didn't even work. It would go off every day at 6, so I didn't have anything in the fridge that I could maybe open. I'm like doomed, but I still keep trying to think. And then I think about my nephew. You guys, he did not crawl. I tried to crawl. That was so pathetic. That was not happening. And I think about my nephew. When he was little, he sat on his tushy, which I couldn't sit up, but he moved in circles. He scooted himself places in circles. And I was like, I could do that. So I'm like in the fetal position, just using the left side of my body, and I'm making blood circles on the tile floor. But you guys, I left the bedroom, and I'm like in front of the bathroom. You know what I mean? There's still a dining room, and then the hallway, and then the kitchen. But I'm like, I could do this. I'm like blubbering, crying. There's blood everywhere. I'm still spewing out blood. And I get to the dining room, and on the, you guys no joke, on the dining room floor, I had left a bottle of Fanta, like a 2-liter bottle of Fanta. I'm like now crying of happiness, like joy. I'm like slugging my like limp body over. I'm like in circles, you know what I mean? But then I dare you, you cannot open a never opened 2-liter bottle of soda with one hand. You can't do it. You cannot. I couldn't use my legs. I couldn't use, so I use this one arm. Go ahead and stop that. Push stop. And I tuck it underneath my arm, and I'm literally trying to go like this. I can't do it. I'm weeping, and guess who walks in? Sada walks in, my sweet maid. I don't know if someone heard me screaming and called her, because they knew, but she came and she saved my life that day. She opened up she sees me in my blood, she sees the blood trail, and she opens up she just props me up and helps me guzzle. This sweet lady. I didn't last long there after that. I got home within the month. Yes. That's how I got this job. Because they had fired their art teacher mid-year, which no one ever fires teachers mid-year. So that's how I got this job. Alright, anyway, let me turn off the video and then you can share.
Because I gotta tell the story about how I almost died one day.
But hold on. Everybody, let's